Hello everyone, good morning. Today is Wednesday and here we are with our Growing from Within program. Today we are going to talk about emotions, emotional resilience, and the protection of our thoughts, protecting our thoughts. That's very important right now as we are surfacing and extending the period that we have been under this kind of um, changing paradigm that we have been on lockdown, and how do we care for the information that you let yourself be immersed, as we have a lot of stimuli and a lot of things that are happening outside. We can be driven to any place they want, and that's why we are having a lot of emotions build up and stimulated in our senses. What can you do to protect from that kind of energy and regulate your emotions? Because your emotions doesn't depend on anyone else but yourself. And the root cause of your emotions are your thoughts. Hi Lucilinda and hi Lamorla. Nice to see you here. And as I'm saying, every stimuli that we receive in the external media is producing a change in our energy, in our vibrations, because we are atoms, we are molecules, and any kind of stimuli is going to do an effect in us, is going to change the vibration that we are feeling, and then it will lead to an emotion. Unless we trap that thought, unless we trap that perception, and we start asking questions. So the trick here is that you become aware of the information that you are receiving, the sources, and anything that is stimulating you. If you detect that there is a toxic source of information and that you are being primed with that information, start detaching yourself from that kind of information. Don't watch too much news, just the necessary things that you should know, and try to also foster a different kind of social circle that you have, because also our social environment, our social circle, and everyone we are in touch with, even if we are doing it by phone or digitally, we are being primed by the emotions of those people, of those persons. So the more we are aware that those emotions are leading us to some kind of mental state such as anxiety or sadness and depression, that's the moment that we have to stop being leading to that kind of information, to that kind of source. The thoughts that we have are not us, they don't define us, and they are just there to give us a glimpse of the things that we are sometimes randomly thinking, and sometimes they are even thoughts or some phrases that many people are just saying, and they are in the past, they come from childhood. That's the source of many of those thoughts. Many of those thoughts are just being recycled. We don't have as much thoughts as we think. It is not the, it is the profile of thoughts that we can isolate from, and we can start seeing and tracing that thought to the root cause and becoming a child. Do you remember when you were a child how many questions you asked, how curious you were about everything? And that curiosity is the one that can pinpoint us to the root cause of the thought, of the emotion. If we stop the thought that we are having by asking questions, by asking, who is it from? Why am I feeling like that? Is it reminding me of someone or something, and that's why I am being primed by that? Or is it even real? Is it gonna happen? That's the kind of idea. When you start asking those questions, you stop the emotion and you don't produce the chemical substances that are going to prime you into becoming anxious. So that's the idea, to stop the moments there. That means that you are harnessing your perception. You are trying to avoid anything from outside to be directed by you, to be just a puppeteer, not being managed by anyone. That's the idea, to stop the things there. The best advice that we can have from there is that we can go deeper into the kind of questions that we are asking. What about the type of thoughts that you have been having through the last couple of days? Just make the exercise. Just try to go deep into your mind and start asking, what am I worried about? What am I being anxious about? What am I sad about? Write them down, see them, and recognize that many of them are not yours, are not real, or they are just being primed by some kind of news that you heard. But it's just performed like that. That's the purpose of the news. That's the purpose of the headlines. That's the purpose also of many social media information, to prime you into disempowering you, to make you feel so that you consume. Because when you are in an anxious state, because you are in fear, when you are in fear, when you are sad, you don't think. This kind of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, starts blocking your reasoning and your analytic capacities, and you become reactive. You start thinking with the limbic part of the brain and the primitive brain, which are designed to be reactive, to protect you, to respond to something, and don't think and don't question that. So by activating the curiosity and the questions in the kind of things that you are perceiving or listening or being led to, that's the idea of waking up this part and start becoming empowered and saying, this is not mine, this is from my childhood, this reminds me of someone, but it's not also supposed to be hard or difficult or real for me. It's not personal. Any kind of people is reacting to their own world, so you don't have to feel also being insulted by anyone, because they are just reacting from their emotions, not taking things personally. That's the idea of detaching from that kind of emotional load. And that's the way we are going to create circles of positivity, of empowering thoughts, of becoming confident. Once you break the cycle, and once you reclaim your perception, and you are aware that any kind of these thoughts were even real, yours, or designed so that you can grow, you let the emotional load and you start become feeling better. What else can you do in that moment? Start writing and start seeing the things that you appreciate in your life. Start becoming grateful of the things that you are appreciating. Even that exercise, you can start feeling better if you say, I feel better because I wrote down the things and I could realize that they were not mine, that they were not designed for me, they were not personal, they were not going to make me grow, and I wasn't supposed to be primed towards that direction. By doing that, you will start perceiving, I am okay. I have a house, I have a phone, I have a computer, I have a job, I have my family, I have many people that surround me and that love me. By starting doing that, you start building a profile of emotions and neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, BDNF, that starts waking up this part of the brain again, and you create now a loop of confidence. And you are out. You are out of where they wanted you to be. That's the idea. This year is gonna be still full of information that can be disempowering and can lead people to become anxious. Why? Because it is very, very clear that everything was designed to start boosting the investment on the pharmaceutical drugs. Now we have a lot of vaccines available. Yeah, that's so funny. Now we have different kind of medications, also investment for the pharma industry. So what do they want to do now? To prime your mind so that you become ill mentally and you can start consuming drugs for your mental diseases. That's the idea. So if you don't want to invest in them and better invest in you, start protecting your thoughts, start protecting your emotions, and recycle, break the toxic emotions, and start waking up your prefrontal cortex and boosting all of your pharma magical world of neurotransmitters, hormones, and all of the substances that can lead you to become empowered, healthy, and strong. That's the idea. Become resilient. Also, you can do some exercise to boost more that. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that this information has empowered you, has made you open your eyes toward a different kind of strategy to harness your power back of your perceptions, of your thoughts, of your emotions, because they are yours. No one else can interfere in that unless you give it away. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. If you like the information, if you think it's helpful for many people, just share it, please. Give me a like. Thank you for connecting again, and I'll see you tomorrow to talk about consciousness. Bye.